So, I actually had something in mind that I was going to say right at the beginning, like as an introduction thing. I had something like that was going to be funny or something like that, but I already forgot it. So, we are...
headstrong, stubborn, quibbling, self-centered, vindictive, obnoxious, hormonal, sexually preoccupied, evil, thieving, cross-dressing jerks.
Yeah, so that works well too. And this is Inane Blather. So, Natalie,
Go on.
the queen is dead, and
Yes, queen.
no queen.
That's my take on that.
And how's the weather?
Well, the weather was grand. I mean, it's
weather.
It's actually overcast and very not good air quality because of the huge fire.
Oh, sounds grand.
Yeah. That's what... I was going to try to think of something that grand could stand for, but how could I possibly come up with an acronym on the fly like that? Who the fuck do I think I am? But,
Ugh,
yeah.
Gross, rotten, asshole, nothing, dweather.
Oh, yeah, I guess it wasn't that hard.
Or gross, rotten, asshole, nothing. Duh. But anyway. That's what grand stands for.
Grandstand.
Yeah.
Let's go to Doug. Doug is the guy you go to around here.
No, but you still have bad air quality there?
Yeah, it's not as bad as it was, but it was over the weekend. It was ash falling here.
Really?
Yeah, it was.
Man, it is
got
pretty
a
bad.
accidental evacuation warning.
Excuse me. That's good to have in the first 3 minutes.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
yeah.
didn't even
Okay.
notice. Yeah.
Okay, that's good. I can cut that out. I will. I'm going to
what
cut
out?
it out, and I'm going to put that burp in your track. So it's like you did it. It'll just replace what you were saying right then. Everyone will automatically think it was you, because that's how people listen to podcasts.
And
I think that's... I'm gonna put the left channel as you and the right channel as me. So people have to listen on headphones.
It's very
and stuff.
avant-garde sort of podcasting. It's like pushing the envelope.
Stereo sound. It's like you're sitting right in between us. No,
Just where
I'm
everyone would
recording in
want
mono
to be.
anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, just sitting on a couch in between two obnoxious blowhards.
In between
Just
two
yelling
preoccupied,
about-
sexually preoccupied.
Evil, thieving, cross-dressing jerks. And they just sit there in the middle, and just every once in a while they're like,
Okay, Natalie. Suck my dick, idiot.
but so yeah, falling ash, because you were close enough to get evacuation warnings and stuff with all these fires.
It was an accident. We got an accidental one, but it was really like, I was like, oh my god, it says pack up and leave now. Get your pets, grab a few things.
You sent me that.
And
terrifying.
It was really like, oh my god, I can't believe it's that close. Also, it doesn't seem that, I mean, the air quality was pretty bad, but then there was a text followed up that said that was a technology error. It was just for one of the towns, barely tiny little town.
Villages.
Excuse me. Yeah, that's rural
Full
area.
of village idiots.
Totally.
That's what I think of ruralites. Like myself.
Yeah, you live in a town of like
Small towns.
3,000
you mean a bunch
people.
of fucking dumbasses? No.
Yes, I do mean that.
Hey, there's like probably almost 4,000 people here now. Pretty sure.
Ooh, maybe next you'll get a stoplight.
It's been growing. Oh, I hope not. I like the lack of traffic lights here.
Yeah, and lack of traffic.
And the lack of
Culture
traffic.
and-
I like it's got a real traffic lack, but yeah, lack of culture, lack of
opportunities.
any fellow socialists to talk
Semblance
to
of a nightlife. Yeah.
outside of the local bar.
Yeah.
Actually, yeah, we've been. It's been kind of fun here, and I went to. We had our annual local event and our vendors and parade, and I was in the parade, and my daughter won the pageant, and I played
White
guitar
privilege
for the
much?
kids choir, and then after that, like there was a big get together down the street for someone's birthday, and it's a lot of fun.
I was really imagining you
just have to know a couple of people. That's all you need, and suddenly your schedule's filled with inane garbage until you die. It's great. I love it. You never leave the town. Your children grow to resent you. It's great. Mm-hmm. I'm on
living
track.
the dream. Yeah.
I'm on track like a train with no fucking brakes.
I'm imagining you being the parade leader, like with a
Doug
baton.
he's the real deal.
Yeah.
Being like da 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 da, and like a top hat.
I'm like
Like
Cole!
like marching very like high knees.
Oh yeah, higher than I could in real life. That's why it's fun to imagine.
Oh my gosh,
I
yeah.
can barely tie my shoes, and not because of flexibility issues. I just forget. No, but yeah, we usually have some pretty bad. I mean, it's really smoky here now. It's smoky everywhere on the West Coast, it seems like, but because finally it's that time of year. There's a really cool sunset today where you can just stare directly at the sun if you want to. Like,
Yeah.
wow, look at that. Because it's
Putting on
just
sunglasses
so
is crazy,
covered
too.
by smoke.
It's like so pink.
Yeah, I keep putting on sunglasses and then be like, it's too dark. It's like, it's 3 p.m., you know? It's like, it's too dark to wear sunglasses because it's smoky. Smells
pretty bad.
smoky. It's gross.
It is.
But, you know, I mean, then you can take those future resentful children and make them run out in the smoke and say you're gonna build character, and you take them to the park and make them run laps.
Yeah.
At least that's what I read you're supposed to do. Hey, so
In a book.
in a book. So I did have a question for you though.
A quenching.
So I'll ask you after the show.
Okay, cool. That'd be cool. Yeah.
All right. Bye.
Bye.
Doot, 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 doot. No. So if for strike one, I really don't care that Queen Elizabeth died.
Oof, not
You know?
I mean, know-
And strike two, I really don't care or want to watch in any way whatsoever the new TV show by Hillary and Chelsea Clinton. Am I a bad feminist now?
yes. And
I have to
yes.
ask an expert.
No, I think that Queen Elizabeth, I was thinking about how much she represents the
Girl boss?
patriarchy. Yeah, it's like she sits in prim and proper, and in every way it's like this, dignified and whatever the fuck that means, and blah, 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 representative of like a... Yeah, exactly. Totally bygone era where women were supposed to, like, all this stupid British repression. She's like the epitome of it, and like, especially for women, just like shutting the fuck up. I think I am so shocked that anyone cares that she died, other
It's
than to
weird.
say that it's like, well, duh, she was like 1,000, and also, isn't this a good thing to like be getting? I mean, not a good thing for her to die, though. I guess it is,
Well,
because
she was
otherwise she'd be like,
96,
yeah,
so
otherwise
that's
she'd be
already
like
out of it.
some
It's like,
inhuman.
Every time I hear, I mean, and we talked about it at the end of the last show, but it's like, whatever. If you weirdly saw her as your grandmother because you're a British dork, then whatever. But
As your grandmother, who
every
never
time
offers
it's just-
anything other than British repression of emotions. What the
Yeah.
fuck kind of role model? She's not
yeah,
progressive
did that
in
fucking
any
grandma
way.
ever
She's
send you $20? I
God.
don't think so.
yeah,
But
she just held.
you need
stolen
an American
jewels.
grandma. Yeah. Yeah, she just puts blood diamonds on her fucking crown. No,
Yeah.
but even if you say that all aside, every time I hear the word tragic when they're talking about it, her tragic death. Tragic? She's 96 years old. Like, what?
Yeah.
Did she fall out of an airplane? Like, what are you talking about?
I wish. That'd be amazing.
Like, she had another 20 years to go, and she was running a marathon, and it was about to be one of
got
those
hit
Paul
by a
Harvey
bus.
type stories. Yeah, exactly. And she was on her way to her graduation after going back to school when she was 92, and then
seems
hit
just
by a
like
bus.
a
Now
bunch
you
of,
know
like,
the rest of the
weird-
story.
Like, when it could be a time for us to reflect on what this means for, like, us as a world, like, as monarchies, and these things that we understand don't really have any relevance in today's society. And, like, getting
Yeah.
rid of this puppet of... I mean, it's also incredibly patronizing to them. Like, I feel like are they animals in a zoo? Like, what are you guys doing? They don't lead real lives. They're not, like, real people. It's really weird and gross. And it could be a time for, like, some, like, self-reflection nationwide, and, like, what kind of, like, how do we want to move forward from this? But instead, yeah, they're talking about tragedy of a woman who's an ancient decrepit fossil finally dying after a reign of terror across the world.
Yeah.
Just because she's a woman, we have to be like, oh,
Like,
she was so sweet.
Yeah. When you're
God.
only, like, if you're talking about, like, geopolitical impact in any way whatsoever, because if you're not talking about that, you're talking about nothing. You're talking about someone born into wealth who lived in a fucking castle. Like, it's like, so if you're talking about geopolitical impact, it's like, what, you're on the side of, Western monarchies taming the savage beasts of the third world. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like,
And, like, as far as, like, a leader goes, or even a grandmother, it's like, but what is she even like? Like, how is she in any way comforting? Like, she's not progressive at all, which I guess maybe you're not looking for from your grandmother. But as far as a leader goes, to be, like, an example of what was going on, like, 800 years ago, I don't think that that's, like,
Yeah.
inspirational in any way whatsoever. And as far as a grandmother goes, she seems pretty cold. Like, she wouldn't hug you. You can't touch the queen.
It's like-
She's like a doll.
we
Like,
got an
she's not a
American
real
in there
person.
who literally left royalty because of how backwards and old-fashioned these racist fucks were.
Racist
Like,
pedophiles.
Look at Harry and Meghan. Like, I don't get into all the royalty stuff, but it's like, you just look back on that happened like 2 years ago when people were arguing about that, and we should have picked out then people, total knobs like Ben Shapiro and guys like that complaining and being on the side of, like, the royal family, where it's like, where is this coming
George
from?
Washington
And then you
being
realize,
like, wait, what?
yeah, and then you realize when something like this happens, it's like, oh, they are, like, literal, like, dick riding monarchy supporters, like, because I mean, you gotta hand it to
they're
them.
stupid.
Because they do, like, it's like, oh, you do believe in traditional values, I guess. Like, that's
yeah, I
why
guess they're
you're
finally-
a racist, homophobic conservative. Like,
That's why- oh my
because
gosh.
you would rather have British monarchy than, if you got the choice, you gave it to someone like Jordan P. Peterson or Ben Shabibo, because that's what we call them, because like
We
we're
made those
cool
up.
and on the left,
Yeah.
because we're like, roasting them. But you give them like an actual choice, like from a genie in a bottle, between just staying under the monarchy and like British colonial rule, or we get to have a full diverse melting pot society in America. They're going to choose the monarchy,
The monarchy,
for Western
obviously.
values and tradition, and a bunch
This
of
is-
like pasty white guys marching in really stupid looking uniforms with big feathers on their heads. Like,
Do you know, all of this reminds me of Confederacy of Dunces. That's Ignatius.
Yes,
Yeah,
everyone
that's
wants to be
exactly-
Ignatius.
Yeah,
where
that's what
it's
it made
like
me
when
think
it comes
of a
down
lot when
to
I was
it.
reading it.
Yeah, comes down to it, like, they really don't like the Enlightenment. It's all dangerous propaganda.
Yeah, and that's seriously how they think about it. Well, no, they don't, because they don't actually think about it. They just are reactionary, and that's what comes out of it. They're just, like, really fucking dumb, honestly. That's what I think it all is like, people say that Ben Shapiro doesn't, like, believe what he's saying or whatever. I think he does. I think he's stupid. Like, that he genuinely believes this kind of crap that he spews out of his mouth because he's that much of a loser and he's that
Rapid
dumb and
fire
he's just
diarrhea out of his mouth.
yeah, He just is like.
I want to be really gross
Never-
this podcast for some reason.
I guess. Yeah,
It's
that's how I'm
it's our
feeling too.
9th one. We'll have a nice one for number 10.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll be coming up next. Yeah. It'll just be a straight hour of spitting and farting noises the whole time. So bottom line, coming from the expert with a degree in women's studies, well, with a minor in women's studies. Yeah, because you were mining for women.
It was actually women in gender studies. They changed it while I was in college.
Oh, it was. Oh, I thought it was afterwards. But bottom line, the queen, not a girl boss, more
Not a girl
of
boss.
a gaslighting gatekeeper.
Yeah,
And
I would say an enforcer of the patriarchy.
Yeah, and I heard that when she fell down, she was so old it sounded like this. My favorite sound in the world now.
Sorry about your ears, guys.
I'll even it out. So
No, she's not a girl boss. She's a dead person.
yeah, she's a fucking corpse. What do you want me to say, huh? That
Yeah,
dumb old
she seems
dead
like-
broad.
She seems just like an old doll that got given to Goodwill. She seems like not a real person to me at all.
She's a haunted doll
Yeah.
at the Salvation Army.
Yeah.
With
That's
like
the
these
vibe I
tattered
get
little
from her.
gloves on. Well, you got to give it to her, though. I mean, if you want to just go back over a highlight package, the only thing that I know that I can remember is her throwing that wicked curveball in the AL playoffs with when Enrico Palazzo sang the national anthem.
I remember that. Yeah. Yeah,
And,
she did have she did have her moments.
Yeah, what was that? Mariners Angels. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
So, what do you have any? You have
Also,
anything you
Chelsea
want to talk
Clinton
about?
and Hillary Clinton have
Oh,
a TV
yeah.
show. What
Yeah.
the fuck? Okay,
I didn't
so
know
this is
about
how
it
you
because
know-
I'm one of those uncultured swine who does not have and will probably refuse to get Apple TV Plus or whatever
I
because
don't have
I'm
it
like,
either.
I don't. Do I? Need
heard
to
there's some good
add
shows on
Another
it, though.
thing, yeah, I see the advertisements, but I'm just like, all right, I have enough.
But you know what? If they
But-
made a show with Chelsea
it's
and
right-
Hillary Clinton, I
It's-
don't want to give them my money.
Well, let's see. Because it was on the front page of Jacobin right before I came on. I was reading this. And the headline is Hillary Clinton's TV show Gutsy, that's the name of it, is obnoxiously infantilizing and cutesy. I'm like, well,
my
that makes sense.
That's exactly the tone we were trying to set.
Gutsy, Hillary and Chelsea Clinton's new TV series, showcases courageous women from an array of fields, but the show's narrow lens suggests approval of women who show spunk, but not those who challenge abusive state power or capitalism. Which, I mean, well, yeah. And it even says, to be fair, blah, 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 it's not as horrible as I expected. That's in the first sentence. Given Hillary Clinton's awful decades-long record as a conservative force within the already moribund Democratic Party, I expected that watching her talk to allegedly, quote, gutsy women for hours on end would be unmitigated torture. And let's be clear, some of it is.
Yeah, it sounds so incredibly cringe.
Ugh.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Well, you know,
No, this show got greenlit. People worked on this. There
Well,
were people holding
yeah.
booms
Oh,
and mics and
let's-
stuff for
let's
this
n-
crap.
Let's not greenlight a show from absolute multi-millionaire powerhouse political figures.
Because
yeah,
if you're
right.
yeah,
You're
because if
Apple,
that's your
you
goal
love Hillary Clinton.
is to make money, then I guess that's. But who the fuck
That's
is going
always
to
the
watch
goal.
that? Who is watching that? Hillary has no supporters. Everyone
Yeah.
hates her. Like it's just, I swear, oh my god, it's just so disgusting. It's like, please, can you guys just, this is probably like somehow Russia involved in this, getting it to just make us more divided.
Let's just copy Chapo Trap House and have a reading series every once in a while, because this is just great. But this brings me to the genuine pleasures of Gutsy. The people are genuinely fascinating. The show allows us to follow the Clintons as they eat moose soup with indigenous activist and supermodel Quanah Chasing Horse and her mother, Jody Potts Joseph. Walk through a Met exhibition on Seneca Village and Afrofuturism with theorist Kimberly Crenshaw. Go bowling with Wanda Sykes. Crochet with 2 women whose adult children were murdered by racists, and party with Simone, a winner of RuPaul's Drag Race in Little Rock, Arkansas.
Wow, well, that is quite...
Well, see, here's the thing, though. Just reading about it, so I get faced with these moral quandaries, right? Of moving far enough left as a grown adult child in my 30s to get pretty disaffected. See, I'm not putting my words together right, but by liberalism and the Democratic Party and just, I mean, neoliberalism, right? But, I mean...
Disenchanted?
There we go. But its place in America is still important. I mean, it's easy to lose sight of how these things are still, for one thing, better than the alternative of just unchecked
the
misogyny and
possible.
GOP. And I mean, it's because I have an 8-year-old daughter, right? So I'm like, well, I mean, if made a choice, like, sure, I would love for my daughter to watch this or know who Hillary Clinton is, like, as a kid, like, but then it's like, well, do I whitewash things to help, my daughter feel like a girl boss? Know that it's possible she dressed up as Ruth Bader Ginsburg for Halloween of her own choice. I'm not one of those. I mean, Ben Shapiro's parents dressed him up as John Adams every Halloween, and I'm sure that wasn't his choice.
Yeah.
But, I mean, she went from Ruth Bader Ginsburg to just today when I picked her up after work. She said, "Hey, for Halloween this year, can I be a scary Care Bear?"
That's so awesome.
I was like, sure, a scare bear. Yeah. But
Nice.
but it's like, so where, it makes it tough to like draw the line when I want to raise a gaslighting, gatekeeping girl boss, who steps on everyone in her path and eventually create something as horrifically world changing as the Clinton Foundation. No. Yeah. But I mean, I want feminist values. But it's like, where does the line? Do I keep trying to like indoctrinate her from the left as I've been doing, or I just need to have a wide range here, because even though I think Hillary Clinton's a monster, like stuff like this is available though. Like books on the notorious RBG, no matter how it's like, we'll look at it and be like, well, I mean, it was fantastic, but there's a lot of stuff that she did wrong. and she really kind of tanked it all at the end of her career. And plus we hate the Supreme Court in general. But I'm not going to say something like that to my daughter who thinks one day I could be on the Supreme Court. Like, I don't want to take that thought from her.
Except for you wouldn't want her to be on the Supreme Court.
Yeah, but I don't think she's going to be. But it's that frame of mind, I also don't want her to think, well, there are things that girls don't do. You know what I mean? That women don't do.
Well,
because otherwise that is a thing that comes across, And if I
when do you want to become
her to work on an oil rig
in your 30s?
That's what I want.
Would
that's
you rather
like,
not be
in
indoctrinated into some bullshit that you have to unlearn?
In her teens, I just have to steer her away from where I went to like shallow libertarianism, and and just keep harping on the left. There's much more access to that stuff to someone growing up on the internet than there was when I was younger, it seems like.
There's a lot of people that are out there that are not Hillary Clinton that make content for young children that can show what women can be. And
Well, what about these people that Hillary Clinton's, chatting up in this stupid, cringy show?
Well, then you can tell Sophia...
I'm sure Jodie Potts-Joseph is good.
Yeah, Hillary Clinton is not a hero to women because she's not.
Yeah.
She's a corporate shill, and she doesn't... She cared about getting...
I'm tired of being a corporate shill.
Yeah.
I mean... I don't really have... I feel like it's insulting that that's what women have to get.
I think the only thing that... Yeah, I mean,
heroes.
at least at this point... And it sucks, because it's like, well, I don't know. Hillary Clinton's legacy is just garbage. It's garbaggio.
There's other female
and,
leaders across the world.
Yeah. I mean, at least Sophia has heard of AOC. She's not much of a leader and hasn't accomplished a lot. But, I mean... But, as far as I know, just from me blathering on and her hearing stuff that I'm listening to or watching R.M. Brown with me or something, I think she truly, the only thing she knows about Hillary Clinton is that she's a loser and lost to Donald Trump, and that's how Donald Trump got elected.
Good, that's what she should know. That's all you need to know, Sophia.
Oh, wait a minute.
No.
I stopped at... Oh, no. On Gutsy, we also meet the women who, as children, stood up to the segregationists to integrate Little Rock Central High School. Trans YouTuber Natalie Wynn.
Ooh.
A whiskey-drinking 88-year-old Jane Goodall. A couple of former white supremacists who are now anti-fascist activists, and many more brave and brilliant individuals. So... Oh, I got a message. Okay, I just stopped just 2 sentences before ContraPoints is on this fucking show. All right. Well,
I think that you can
well, I could watch all of her stuff for free on YouTube, so whatever.
Or it's like I don't want to pay for anything because that's what it comes down to too. It's like you have so much fucking money, Hillary Clinton. You could just be putting your shit out there if you actually cared about getting information. If you cared about saving any sort of face at all. If this wasn't just about money and politics and like you actually cared about doing something good, it wouldn't be like that. But whatever. It's who fucking cares? It doesn't matter if you choose to watch it or not.
Yeah, it's so funny that this article with that headline that I read to start off with is making me want to see this more and more. Because, but to her greater credit, Clinton's a solid interviewer, asking questions that prompt people to tell engaging stories and reveal themselves. She's also willing to share her own feelings and experiences. When interviewee Reverend Whitney Ejanitin, I'm kind of reading from a distance here, says that leaving her own marriage was the gutsiest thing she ever did and asks why Hillary stayed with Bill. The two have a remarkably candid and provocative conversation about love and relationships, blah, 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 infidelity. Next paragraph. Chelsea, by contrast, is an embarrassment. Interjecting comments that don't advance the conversation, but merely show off how conscious she is, especially on matters of race.
No.
When comedian Amber Ruffin mentions being the first black woman on Saturday Night Live, for example, Chelsea eagerly interrupts her. What year was that? It was 2014. Not that long ago, she crows righteously, relishing the call out and the opportunity to enlighten. She seems to exist as a constant reminder of our culture's veneration of unearned privilege. Not that we need any reminder. Not that we need any reminders, in parentheses, including the past week of mourning for a worthless foreign monarch. Boom!
Nice.
And it all comes together.
Yeah, and there is an example of why it's just about stupid money and whatever, because Chelsea didn't have to be an embarrassing liberal, just, oh my
Fail
god,
daughter.
fail daughter, just because it's like, because that's what, there's the lesson in all of this. It's like, how many, like, why do we have to make so many concessions just to get a movie about incredible women out there, that it has to be done by, whatever. So, okay, well, she's a good interviewer. Yeah, I'm sure there's no better interviewers than Hillary Clinton. Little Miss Emotion there.
Oh,
she's
yeah.
so engaging and whatever. Maybe she does, she's a politician, but
She says,
it all
let's
just seems
Pokemon,
so...
go do some interviews.
Oh, God, yeah. Mary J. Blige singing to her is like one of the cringiest things I've ever seen in my life. And it's just... It just seems like we deserve so much more than her as, like, the epitome of, yeah, girl boss crushing it, Crush. You know, I just feel disappointed that that's the most inspiring woman we could come up with.
Well, I mean, I think we kind of... It's not the most inspiring. It's the one with access and capital. I mean, we kind of roundabout got to that at the beginning.
White skin.
Like,
Yeah.
it's like, of course there are better interviewers. Of course there are people with more interesting stories.
Not everyone was married to the president and
But
then
yeah.
got the presidential nomination and blah, blah,
Yeah.
blah, blah, and wore pantsuits. Whatever.
Wore pantsuits,
Who was the
et cetera,
status quo
et cetera.
Democrat, centrist, you know, pretty
like-
much right wing.
Bitch, Chelsea, it's like, you know, you're sitting here trying to be so fucking woke, like in the pejorative way, like as a
Yes.
privileged
It's-
white fail daughter.
Thinking about it
Like
is
you're
making
trying to
me
be so
like,
woke
cringe.
and
Legit.
like
Oh.
your mom that you're doing this with was the one that started the birther conspiracy as a political ploy in the 2008 primaries. Like she started like that, floated the idea that Obama was born in Kenya. Like, and you're the
It's just the lack of self-awareness that they have, like that they think that anyone wants to fucking hear from them at all. Like, please, can you just leave us alone? Hillary Clinton was... I'm not saying that it's fair, and I know that it's because she was a woman, of course, that she was so hated. That was such a huge part of it. But it's like, no one, like,
she's
wants to
been
hear
a
from you
victim of the
anymore. Like,
patriarchy for sure.
absolutely,
but it's like,
of course, but
just
she's
look
also
at the intersections here.
Yeah, and
Like,
she's
Jesus
a part of
Christ.
it too. She's a victim, and
She's
she's
a
also an
ruthless
oppressor.
capitalist.
Yeah, and she just, it's like, go away. Let us heal. Like, it was so incredibly divisive, obviously, the 2016 election, and like, you don't bring anything to the table except for you brought the money to make this Apple project happen, or the clout, or whatever you have, but you bring nothing.
Access.
These women are the ones that are doing incredible things. You didn't do shit but lose to a fat fucking fascist. Like, you
Triple
are
F.
a loser. Yeah, and
Yeah.
you lost. And you did it because you don't have any good ideas, and you're not a good leader. So why do we want to keep hearing from you? Use your money to actually do some good, and go do some meditation, or become like a real person or something. Just go away, please. Like, let us move forward.
He's already dead.
Exactly. That's how I feel, like, pleading.
Yes.
Like, let us just, you're like 1 billion years old and like a robot. So go
Yeah.
away.
Yeah, it's like you were a robot, now you're an old loser robot. God.
And
Yeah, it
obviously, 1000% better choice than Donald Trump. 1000 infinity billion times better, obviously, because she's not a straight fascist. She would
Yeah,
just be
just
more
a
of the status quo, which I
neoliberal
obviously
loser.
don't agree with also, but she's not a straight up fascist saying that Mexicans are rapists. So at least, I mean, she could clear
Mexicans are rapists.
Did I say that?
Who knows? She probably would have kept building border fences anyway. But no, yeah.
But she
I mean, I'll
wouldn't
never
say
say
it.
that it was like, you know, two sides of the same coin. It's like, well,
Fuck
yeah,
no.
if you look at it in the ways that aren't going to be changed by this election, sure. but
Yeah.
also conspicuously unmentioned are the members of Congress known as the Squad. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, Rashida Tlaib, and Ilhan Omar. All of them persist with courage in face of constant racist and misogynist threats of violence. Yet, they also supported and indeed were inspired to run for office by Clinton's 2016 primary opponent Bernie Sanders, against whom Clinton has been waging a ludicrous years-long smear campaign aimed at painting him as a racist. Now,
yeah, what a girl boss. She's such a girl boss. Oh my God. Keeping healthcare from us. Oh my God, she's amazing. I love her.
Also conspicuously missing from that paragraph, Bernie wasn't the only other primary candidate. Dang, it would have been a good joke if I could have remembered that guy's name. Who was the other guy? There was that third guy in 26. Oh my gosh. Colbert would make jokes about him. Damn it.
What did he look like?
He looked like a fucking
White?
Democratic cuck. Gosh, what was his
all.
name?
Oof.
See, that's what's funny, is that no one remembers him. And
he was the candidate.
yeah, the guy who got like 5%. 2016 Democratic primary. It was okay. To Hillary Clinton, Bernie Sanders, and Martin O'Malley. That's who it
wow.
was.
That's a blast from the past.
Exactly.
I would not have gotten that in 1,000 years. All I
Hello,
could think of was
Jacobin.
Tim Kaine.
Martin O'Malley was also a candidate.
Yeah.
He received
Fake
110,000 votes next to...
Ow!
Who the fuck is voting for Martin
That's
O'Malley?
How you know that America's gone down the toilet.
He was such a dork. Let's see.
He's so incredibly forgettable.
Oh my God, he's from Maryland, yo.
Exactly.
From fucking Maryland. Mayor of Baltimore.
Baltimore?
From 99 to 2007, right during the wire, dude.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, boy. Ooh,
brother.
Let's see. Oh, well, in 2012, he signed a law to legalize same-sex marriage in Maryland. Cool. And he served as the chair of the Democratic Governors Association. Wow, that means a lot. You know that Inslee was the chair as well, I think, of the Democratic governors. What the fuck does that matter? He looked like such a bum when he was in the 2020 primary debates and stuff. I was like, just go back to governing our state, you loser. Like, come
Inslee?
on. Yes.
He just looked like a dork. He just looks like a state level governor.
He's just a good Democrat. Who cares? But it was just like, what are you doing up here,
Democrat,
man?
That's not a good thing.
Oh, sure. I mean, he's no Ted Cruz. But if only.
Oh, God. If only. Hail to our king, Theodore.
Charles? King Charles?
Yes. Yes.
The third? And we're back to the Monarch Hour on Inane Blather.
DJ
talking about your royal news and getting royal boners about royalty. I'm gonna eat this Royale with cheese. You get it? You ever seen Pulp Fiction, Natalie?
No. Ew. I think you mean a Royale with cheese. That's how the Queen Mum would have said it.
Except it's England. I think we use the imperial weight measurements too, don't we? I don't know. Over in England, isn't it weird? Like, they use kilometers, but they also use, like, pounds and ounces and weird shit like that.
Get your shit together.
Like, yeah, we thought America was bad. At least we stick with 100% just the bad measurements.
At least we don't have a queen. Or a king.
At least, like, we have a somewhat representative government. We vote with our dollar over here, okay?
They have a representative government, but then they also have this fake government that costs a lot of money and has a bunch of stolen jewels. So
yeah, that's
it's
true.
Interesting.
I guess
we have
they are kind of
corporations,
cool
but
now
they have
that you put it that way. It's like, so they have free healthcare and their like, quote unquote leader like just walks around with $3 million worth of stolen jewels on their head.
How come they have all this extra money for people to be going? Because the tourist industry that goes and stares at the royalty and goes and looks at
does
them.
that?
People with no reason to live.
People who fucking voted for Martin O'Malley in 2016. That's the kind of people like, let's go to
same
London.
100,000
Let's go
people
see.
every year.
Maybe we might see Kate Middleton. Oh my gosh.
Losers.
Have you ever
Absolutely nothing going on in their lives. I can't even imagine wanting to do that. Of all places to go in the world, you go to look at where the king and queen of England live?
No,
you know there's
like,
a place called Greece?
I go look at where they live. I mean, there's cool stuff.
No.
But it's like, I don't give a fuck about them.
Over
Like, what I don't
everything in
get
the world?
is, like, supposedly it's such a big enough thing in the United States. Like, there's these people that are into royalty. Supposedly, like, 1 billion fucking people watch a royal wedding. Like, I don't believe that for 1 second. Because it's, have you ever met someone in real life that's into the royal family stuff?
Is that like a sex term? Royal family stuff?
Yeah, I call it bending her over London Bridge.
Give it the old Big Ben,
Big
if you know
Ben.
Big Ben, if you know what I mean.
I got into her bangers and mash, you know what I'm saying?
Football.
Yeah, football. Give her the old English breakfast, you know what I mean? Faux English breakfast. Then I just start talking like a baby. I'm a baby.
Is that how babies talk in England?
I'm an English baby.
Is that like Winston Churchill?
And that's how the Allies won World War II. Mm-hmm. And this has been
We all know that.
Western civilization history on Inane Blather. No, really, like, have you ever met someone in real life? Do you know anyone that's into that stuff? Because supposedly enough people are. Like, who's into that?
I think people were sort of interested in the, like, excitement of a prince getting married, like when Kate Middleton and Prince whatever the fuck, ugly son, got married.
Yeah,
and,
not Harry. Not the
yeah,
not
he's the
sexy
bald
one.
the bald one. Yeah, I'm talking about
The one,
Kate
Andrew?
Middleton.
Is it Andrew?
I don't know.
Yeah, you like
He's the
immediate.
ugly one. Yeah.
It's like, I heard someone talking about it. They're like, how did he just, as soon as he got married, and Kate Middleton is just this beautiful, like
absolute
repressed,
knockout, like,
yeah,
incredibly
like,
beautiful.
perfect monarch figure because she's just doesn't say anything.
Her face, though, I mean, is so beautiful. Like, she's so,
I can't even imagine
so,
what she looks like, but as soon as
She
the
looks
marriage
white.
goes through and it's all done, suddenly he immediately just goes bald. Like his teeth somehow get worse. He gets a punch, gets even paler.
Punch,
It's
yeah.
like, how did this
I know.
happen?
He talks
No,
like this.
but you know people that were into the wedding part of it at
I mean,
least.
people just kind of like watch, and then what's her face, Meghan Markle. Obviously, that was like a big to do because she was like had sort of like a tan, you know. So people were like,
Because of her exotic blood? Is that what you were about to say?
yeah,
Jesus
that's
Christ,
what
Natalie.
I wanted to say. Yeah, they did some head measurements, and she just wasn't making the cut.
They're like, you guys are moving back to L.A.
Yeah,
She's like, but I'm
and so
from
people just-
Toronto. No. Oh,
It's
no,
like-
she's from
it's
LA.
weird, like-
That's right.
like Princess Diana though, and like people were like so upset over her death, but it's like I don't know, it's this weird fantasy fetishization, if I may, of like what
Princess
the monarchy
culture.
and like what the monarchy represents for like quote unquote Western culture, and then like it's very, I mean, it's patriarchal, it's whitetriarchal, it's just representative of like
the
yeah.
white triarchy.
Just of everything that like made white supremacy and the patriarchy possible all across the world. And I think that people, it's just like an ingrained thing into people to like, I don't know, support for some reason. Yeah, because people in America supporting the monarchy is like, what? I don't get it. I don't get that at all. At all.
Yeah.
Genuinely. Like, I can't imagine people in France being like, what is happening? Like,
Yeah. We cut off our monarch's head.
yeah, we didn't wait for her to get to be an old grandma. We just chopped it right off. We invented a guillotine so we could do more
Yeah,
of
we
it.
invented a more efficient way of killing our politicians.
Yeah. It needed
That's
to
what
be
we
done.
need. Yeah, we're too under the thumb. You know,
agree.
the next breakout in protests and things like that has to include some sort of invention. We need the next
I think
Hubert
that was
Farnsworth.
at the January 6th Hang Mike Pence. They invented a thing called a gallows.
Oh,
Did you know that? Yeah.
That's a new thing now, you say. It's a new thing, the gallows?
Yeah, a new,
Is that,
yes.
like, was it invented by Joey Gallo, the former NFL player? Is that why it's called the gallows?
He was at the insurrection.
Oh, okay. Yeah. He played for the
He was
Seahawks
riding
in the
horse.
90s.
Yeah.
Yeah, this 55-year-old black former NFL wide receiver, Joey Gallo,
He's
seen at the
typical
January
Trump
6th
supporter.
insurrection.
Yeah, so typical.
He ran off on a horse with a pair of AOC's shoes in his hands.
Yeah, because Ben Shapiro said he'd give him $1 million for
Oh
them.
my God. Here, you want some more cringe? Here we go.
I
So,
don't know if I can.
here's just a couple paragraphs. The exceptions almost jarringly prove my point. One labor activist appears on Gutsy, the legendary Dolores Huerta, now 92. But the interview centers not on her defiance of the agriculture industry, but the heroics of being an activist while raising 11 children. Angela Davis makes a cameo on Gutsy too. Not in an interview, but a photo of her is shown on screen. You might be surprised to see the Clintons acknowledging a black communist, but Davis is pretty gutsy. She was on J. Edgar Hoover's most wanted list and has been fired for her politics, jailed in connection with an armed takeover of a Marin County courtroom, and has written many books calling for the abolition of the prison industrial complex. All of this is captured in poignant detail. That's a joke, of course.
Yeah,
In reality,
I was
nothing about Davis's politics or biography is included in Gutsy. She's only mentioned briefly for one reason: her natural hair. Ooh, my God!
Oh my God, I got goosebumps from that cringe. That's... Oh my God. Wow. Yeah.
And all the
Wow.
while, Chelsea is just sitting there with this look on her face and just thinking,
Everyone is stupid except me.
This is like... Oh my God. I obviously don't think people should be bullied, but like...
but...
But, like, what else are you supposed to do? Like, what is going to get through to these people? Well, what it is they're just too privileged, obviously. But it is astounding to hear something like that. And embarrassing. It's so incredibly tone deaf. It's like, have you ever been on the internet or read anything about what people are thinking or saying or talking about or feeling about? Like,
Chelsea has. No. Chelsea, you ever hear the ongoing, like, how Chelsea was in, like, this short Twitter feud with Adam Friedland?
No.
Oh, yeah. And, Chapo's gone over it a couple times. You should check out some of the clips where they go over, like, famous fail sons or fail children and stuff.
I remember that, yeah.
And, yeah, Chelsea, and how she'll respond to people, where it's just like, I don't know, Felix Biederman's go-to thing was always just like, oh, well, you say I'm a bitch, but a bitch is just a female dog, so actually, that sort of retort, because she's a fucking dork, but that doesn't live in the real world.
Christ.
But anything...
That's rough.
Anything else here? Yeah, so I was wondering about my place in feminist society. I actually had been thinking about it today. I wasn't just trying to think up something. But after... I don't know. I left a long comment on YouTube. So this is really important, right? I left a long comment under Noah Sampson's newest video. Yeah, good, just good straightforward video. You know, and because it had me thinking. And after my comment, he responded. He just said,
"You little poopy bitch."
But and I was like, "Oh man, you're one of my favorite YouTubers." No, but just that it was like, man, it's if you're like just a regular, just you know, if you just say like a regular dude, cis het, I referred to myself as generally masculine, like I'm a guy, just a guy with a truck, but I consider myself a feminist, at least of course, because I'm not a fucking retard, but it's like, but
that way.
that is there's something to it, like a self-consciousness to where, it's like, where do I
How
step
to be an
in?
ally?
Yeah, that sort of conversation. And I had left a comment under his. I was like, I'm just glad that one of the people on the forefront of just kind of base level battling misogyny and these reactionary sexist morons is a guy like him, a dude with a mustache that is calm and not like and just represents like, you can't put him in this box if you're on the right, or if you're just the typical misogynist Andrew Tate follower type of guy. You can't say, well, yeah, he's like a screaming pink-haired soy boy. Like, they call him that all the time, and it never sticks because it's so obvious that he's not. Where it's just like, I'm so glad that you're one of the people at the forefront, because it's just great for us regular, sane people like us guys who think like, I mean, it's not our place. We could do what we can. I don't know what to do, but, feel like women should have equal rights and equal pay and representation and stuff, It's like, and don't want to go about it in some virtue signaling Chelsea Clinton bullshit way. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think then you just keep the conversation legitimately open, and you do what you're doing, and you actually take in someone's perspective, and you're not just waiting for me to say things.
But
so you can be like, wow.
No, I'm just kidding.
So you'd be like, wow, it must be so hard for you as a woman. I can't believe, you work, blah, blah, blah. It's like condescending. It's like really listening. And I think that you do a good job of that. You like get yourself, you watch.
It's a great way of getting laid.
Made by, art that's created by women. You listen to songs that are created by women. You try to get female perspectives like that. You talk to me. You're close with your sister. I think that that's important. We constantly talk about stuff like this, and I try to give a perspective so you can understand where
because
a woman would be coming from.
There's like this internal battle for someone like myself who cares to even think about it, or has the privilege to even worry about something like that, or is too terminally online to not think about it. There's lots of different ways that you can look at this, but there's kind of this this debate in my mind, and I'm sure like with lots of other men, where I mean, that's the problem with trying to be an ally instead of just being one. Is like, well, okay, so I do this stuff, and if I really stop to think about it, it's like, that's all shallow, superficial, like, doesn't make a difference, does it? But if I don't know, I can't try to dive further past shallow, superficial, support women type of things without being a tryhard or overstepping my bounds as someone who's not a woman, who doesn't understand and never would understand the unique circumstances and challenges that women face in a patriarchal society. You know what I mean?
But it doesn't mean that you're not an ally, because it's like, because trying is something, because a lot of people don't. And they don't think there's anything wrong with the system, and they think that it's just women whining.
Oh, yeah.
And I think that the way you treat women in your day-to-day life, that's the example that you're setting, is how you treat the people in your life. And I think that you do a good job of showing that you respect people generally, obviously, but women too. You're not going to be... Yeah, there's people out there who tell their kids about women being for specific jobs and men being specific ways.
True.
And really, really defining the gender roles. And you're not doing that. And because you're single also, you're going to be so much more than just like what a dad would be in like a typical monogamous, like relationship, like the defined roles that people usually fall into. Because you're a single dad now, like you're going to be able to show that it's more like all of the gender roles are just social constructs, just by the way that you're living your life.
Well, I
even.
try to keep
like what
that
you're contributing
consistent. That's why if Sophie's around, if I'm doing laundry or dishes, I put on a wig and I put on an apron and heels. I'm like, this is what women do. I'm like, oh, hi, honey. She's like, oh, my God. I'm like, I'm just trying to play both roles here, enforce strict gender stereotypes. It's what the nuclear family's about.
It's what God wants.
And I start crying like Jordan Peterson. I'm like, it's what he would want.
This is what men want. They're so manly and masculine.
And yeah, as soon as I put on the wig, I'm like, what do I do without men? But yeah, I mean, at the same time, and that's reassuring and that's good. But I mean, it's just I think it's a valid conversation and thought, because at the same time, I also don't ever like to stand by or to assure myself with the idea that, well, I could be a lot worse of a person. That doesn't do anything for me. It's like, well, sure, yeah, a lot of people do enforce traditional gender hierarchies, and a lot of people do follow Jordan Peterson. A lot of people are fucking stupid as far as I'm concerned, but I'm not one of them, and just not being one of them isn't enough for me. I want to do the right thing.
It's not enough, but it's definitely something.
Well, that's true.
It's like you can definitely take into account, like,
I'm like, that's a good attitude.
sake,
whatever.
like,
Let's
no.
just quit the podcast. We're done.
Yeah.
This is good enough. It's better than nothing. No.
I mean, yeah, and then you start to see the results that you want, like when you're doing things differently than like society is around you, and you start to see Sophia taking in these lessons that you're teaching her, that she's absorbing by being around you, by having conversations with you, by overhearing conversations between you and me, or whatever it is.
True.
You'll start to see that reflected in what she's saying. And
yeah, when
you'll
she
see
walks
that even
into
if
the
you
room and I'm watching the Hillary Clinton show, I'm like, oh, pretty cool, huh? Let's Pokemon go to the couch and watch this.
She's like, Hillary Clinton is a
She's like, you're watching
shill.
that fucking loser, Dad? I was like,
Yeah, jeez, you call yourself
I put my wig on
progressive?
so I can cry again. I'm like, that's what women do.
And then oh, no, never mind.
Okay,
I was going to
sorry.
make a joke about drinking, but it doesn't make sense because
and then
you don't drink.
Yeah, and then you drink my lemonade. Yeah.
Yeah, on the rocks. Yeah.
Where's the little umbrella? That's what makes it a scotch on the rocks. Sorry that I totally interrupted you during that conversation, but I wanted to say funny stuff. Or that's
Funny
like
stuff.
when one of my dumb bitch workers drops something, I'm like, pick that up, woman! Stupid idiot!
You do be like
women
that.
think you can do everything.
Capitalism.
Yeah, and that's why being a conservative is a permanent
Stupid and
state
doesn't make
of
any
mental
sense.
illness and arrested development that does nothing to further progress of humanity or civilization in general.
Yeah, and that's exactly what the monarchy is conservatism, because it's something that is a tradition that's been held on to for so long. And I think about, the monarchy and the patriarchy and all the cultures that they wiped out, all these egalitarian societies and stuff where women weren't systematically oppressed, and how fucking great it is that England just came out on top and we had the Queen. Man, wasn't she so dope? Wasn't it so worth it to have her on money? Like this sweet old woman who never said anything. Yeah, all these dead people and genocides and diseases and unnecessary wars and slaves and, a parceling off of land with no regard to current existing, cultures and understandings of the land.
Stop. I can only get so erect.
Rest in peace, bitch.
Yeah.
Not.
Rest in
Fuck off.
piss. You British wanker. What do
Exactly.
British
That's
people
right.
say? They say such stupid shit.
Because they all have a dumb queen.
That queen could...
They're all idiots.
Suck me from the back. Stop. Stop. You're fucking annoying me.
Those were her final words.
Let's hope so.
She was talking
She's talking to her dog.
She was talking to Prince Andrew. He's like, Mum, Kate Middleton said she doesn't want to go to the movies with me because I'm a little
Who's
baby.
gonna give me a
Because
bath?
I'm a baby.
They are
You're so
inbred.
selfish and stupid when you do that. The Constitution can suck me from the back.
Okay.
That was her final.
Yeah, she's like, long live the monarchy, long live the king, and America, remember.
The Constitution can suck me from the back.
And then, like,
She's like, fuck your constitution, bitches.
yeah, I gotta live my life in a palace. I faced no consequences. Not like it was her fault for being born into that, but she could have left.
Hey, she showed up to work every day. She showed up every day. Didn't call in sick. Did what she needed to do.
Which was nothing.
Which was like, yeah, Chapo. That was. I laughed so hard at work. I forget because they were talking about reactions to the Queen's death, and that was one of the weird lines that they get. Like, oh, ever since, I mean, she was born into it, but she did what she was supposed to do every day without complaint. Was one thing. Like she. Always hardworking without complaint, worked every day, yada yada. And it's like, at what? At living? And Will was like, well, not anymore.
She showed up to work every day
until now.
Today. Yeah.
Oh, now the bitch is calling in sick, huh?
Yeah. She thinks that death can get her out of a job.
Anarchists
Typical.
should not be allowed to have children.
Whoops, sorry.
Monarchists should not be allowed to have
Yes,
children. I agree.
exactly. He should have just told the Queen.
Stop. Stop.
You're so cringe.
Yeah.
It's very cringe
is.
when you do that.
As in procreate and lengthen this bloodline of weirdos.
Weird white folk. Ugh.
British folk. Yeah, I like that, I don't know, that we get to jokingly have an anti-British sentiment. It's fun, because it's like, who really cares? I mean, a lot of their stuff is still better than what we got. They have socialized medicine.
yeah.
They have cops that
I
don't
think I
quite
like-
as often
I like
murder
them.
people in the streets.
They seem
All sorts of
more
stuff.
charmingly arrought than Americans are so brashly arrogant. And at least
Ignorantly
British people
arrogant.
are polite about
Yeah.
it. Yeah, we're just such yokels.
Exactly.
dumb
We're exactly
hillbillies over
what they
here and-
think we are.
Assholes. Yeah. New York assholes and hillbillies with straw in our teeth.
It's like, that's America, is like a West Coast hippie, a Texas cowboy, and an East Coast bad driver. Just all
and there's all kinds
yelling
of
at each
minorities,
other
but
and
they don't have any
shooting at
power,
each other
so
while all of
they don't
these
get
melting
that.
pot of minorities cower in the corner and just try to keep their job.
Yeah.
So they could live in a
That's America.
one-room apartment with their family. Ah, the American dream.
Come on over across the pond, why don't you?
Well, I got socialized medicine, but me teeth still look like this.
Nice.
So,
And see.
shout out to RM Brown. I'm going to,
Our Lord
I've
and
been
Savior.
so bad with uploading stuff. I like, honest to goodness, right? Yeah, I'm telling you, Natalie.
Yeah.
We're gonna forever do these
right.
accents. They're very bad. No,
What accent?
I'm gonna be on a much better schedule now that all of this stuff is done. School has started. That crazy weekend that I just had, doing all this stuff at a small town event that I won't
Pageant?
name, and people that know us that might listen to the show don't comment where I live on YouTube. Natalie can dox herself all she wants.
8469. No.
Yeah, thanks. I live in P.O. Box. No.
Yeah.
It's a sad life, okay?
It's cozy, but it's home.
She took everything.
Or, I mean, small. Yeah.
I live at the post office. General Mail. But
General
after
Mail?
all and Colonel Parcel. But
Lieutenant Package.
that's right, that's me. Lieutenant Package. No, I'll probably be on a much better schedule. I've been kind of looking forward to a little bit of monotony, honestly. Some regular until the holiday season, but even that, it still falls into place a little easier. Just having a schedule for the kid, having a schedule for me, actually make myself upload stuff in time, because we're recording this. I still hadn't uploaded the last one because I hadn't put the music together yet and all this stuff.
Nobody cares.
Yeah.
Least of
it's
all
about
us.
holding myself accountable. All right, Natalie? So thanks for dashing all of that.
Isn't that what I said? Nobody cares. Because you're nobody.
Oh, yeah, that's
And you
right.
care.
I am that action film starring Bob Odenkirk nobody.
Bodenkirk.
Christopher Lloyd is my dad. But, yeah.
It's very cringe when you do that.
No, but a little thing that I want to do, because this is how my mind works, and I just went off on that tangent about apologizing about not uploading the actual podcast, because on top of that, I want to, I'm just going to upload, when I make this music for the show, even though it's short and simple and dumb, I'm going to upload those as well. I think I might upload them on my normal account.
I don't think
that actually
that
for
dumb
some
is
reason
a good way to
for
describe
some
it.
reason my regular account that I just start flame wars and comment sections with has like 16 subscribers or something. So I think I'm gonna upload songs from there, and it'll say Inane Blather soundtrack or something, and it'll give a little link to the episode. So if someone gets the music first, they can go listen to the show, and vice versa.
Cool. And the music's good. It's not dumb.
good.
It's awesome.
Not good.
Yeah.
It's not
People
good.
play the music and they're like,
Oh, God.
but yeah, and then I'll probably just upload a 7-second clip of all of the drops being played at once, like I've played for you before. So that's always fun.
I was just thinking about that actually. It's really funny.
But yeah, I should once we cut this off, I'm gonna make some music, and hopefully sometime soon, Natalie, like we can record together here with 2 microphones
No technical.
at my house.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, if you ever come over here again, so that would be fun.
My check engine light keeps coming on, so it's gonna be a while.
Oh, well, I'll pick you up or something.
No, I'm just kidding. I just haven't gotten over there. I've just been busy.
Yeah,
Twerking.
yeah.
Twerking on the weekends.
Yeah, everybody's twerking for the weekend.
Everybody's twerking for the weekend.
Don't quote me on that, though.
And we love every single person that listens to this. Even the person who said that we
I
suck.
agree.
If you're listening.
I love them the most.
Yeah,
Taking
true.
the time to comment on that.
Yes,
Thank
exactly. And yeah, shout out to Zach. There you go. For listening to the show.
you. Yeah, Zach's the best.
That's true.
That's true.
So, okay, anything else you want to say? Since this is one of those podcasts where I took up 75% of the airtime again. Nope. Okay. I should just get a little drop that's a sound of like a old school that you hear the click of a phone hanging up and then it goes to a dial tone. And we'll just do
like
it at
that.
the end of each one. And people are just like, what is
I like
that?
it.
What is this?
Yeah. No one's heard that.
What is this? Just
Ages.
a couple guys having a conversation? Who the hell wants to listen to that?
No.
Okay. Well,
Okay.
yeah. Subscribe to RM Brown. and subscribe to
Love
us
you.
because I'm trying to sign some really big advertising contracts right now. We're going to sell out, and I'm going to AstroTurf a bunch of listeners from Bangladesh and stuff. We're really moving and shaking. So
great. I'm glad we're on the same page about
exactly. Yeah, we'll go over it after the show. You're going to owe me a pretty significant sum up front, but we'll make it work. I'm not sweating at all.
Okay,
I love you. Bye.